Hello everyone, the Killers here, and today guys we're not gonna do a Bionicle video review, but first of all I have to say that excuse me if you heard some background noise, it's my computers. Some days ago parts broke, but it still worked in fact, and now it's make tons of noise, so it's okay, but I think it's gonna explode. But by the way, it's works, so it's okay, but just wanted to say that if you heard some noise, excuse me, it's my computers. I'm just gonna hope that my words will cover the noise. And by the way, yes, we're not gonna review Bionicle today, we're gonna review the Bionicle's ancestors, if I can call them, also known as the Slizers or Throwbots in the US, and they were released between 1999 and 2000, the year 2000. So, why I call them the ancestors? Because they share many similarities with Bionicle, like for example the fact that each character represents an element, like fire, water, ice and stuff like that. Also, they have some interesting canister which is useful to store them, so like the Automata canisters, or like every canister released since 2001 for Bionicle. Also, there is some collectible stuff in there, which are in the kind of like the canary, but with some disc. And also, they all share the same parts, but with some little difference. So it's like the Automata, for example, which got the same body frame, but we are kind of all different. For example, Onua is really different from Taru. But I think you know that if you have seen my review, or even if you have the set. So, by the way, yeah, I think that's all I have to say on this point. So, yes, there are some difference between the Europe and US. So, first of all, the name. In Europe, they are named the Slizer, and in US, they are named the Throwbots. Also, there are some difference in the storyline, because the storyline is not the same between the two regions. And also the names of the action figure itself, which change from side to side. We're gonna see that later. Also, you have to know that I do not own all the 12 Slizer sets which were released in between these 2 years. I just own 6 of them, so I'm gonna review them, of course. I'm gonna also review 2 sets per review. And of course, if I have the Slizers, if some days I got the Slizers I do not have now, I will of course review them. But for now, I'm gonna talk about Ice, also known as Ski in the US, and Sub, also known as Cuba. So first of all, we're gonna see the canister. So I just have the case, it's also called the case. We're gonna see the canisters of Ice. So it looks like that. Of course, it has the colors of the Slizers, so the color shape. So here it's white, and also some matte blue. Normal blue, if you know. So here we go. Gonna just do a little turnaround of this box. Of course, the box in the shop was not sold like that. There were some cardboard stuff on it, but you will still be able to see. This part of the plastic. So yeah, it was in kind of a cardboard stuff. It was not sold like that on the shelf. So with the Lego Technic right here, the disc also, which is really important because it's the main collectible I have said earlier, and Lego Technic also right in here. And here it's the arm, which is also one of the unique parts of the Slizer, the arm. The shrunning disc arm, excuse me. So, and as you can clearly see here, we can open this. So yeah, first of all also, it's useful because these holes right there are in fact useful to put your canisters, to put your belt in the canisters, and in fact to work with that if you go with your friend. So of course it's not really that cool, and I do not really think it will be cool if you wear this on your belt and go outside nowadays. I think it's more cool to have an iPod on your belt, but still I think you will get the stolen if you have an iPod on your belt. But by the way, it was this is why there are some holes right there, is to put this on your belt and work with your Slizer, because of course, as I said earlier, you can put the Slizers in the canister. So here we go. So here's inside. So yeah, of course, these 2 parts can be put away together. You can see, can be put away. It's not really solid. Here we go. So there's not really much to talk about apart from this part right here, which is useful to store the disc of the Slizers or Throwbots, but I'm gonna say Slizer from now on. Oh, and yes, I have forgotten something. If you want more information on the storyline or on the characters themselves, just go on the lego.wikia.com and search for the Slizers team page. It's really it's full of information, and I really prefer to talk about the set than the storyline in this review. So by the way, yes, 6 discs per Slizer. So here's it's the space where you're supposed to put them. So I think that's all for the case, which is kind of really cool. And of course you can take it with yours and put it on your belt. So yeah, by the way, now we're going to talk about the instruction booklet. So here we go, ice slicer. So you have the slizers, of course, and inside this element, and every time you have can some of an enemies or foes in the landscape. So here it's an evil iceberg, or I don't know, evil ice mountain. So yeah, the instruction. Then it shows you how to throw the disc, which is the main feature of the slicer, of course. And then how to store him in the case. I think maybe we're gonna do that in the final step of the review, don't really know. And then, as you can see, it's upside down because you have to turn around your instruction booklet, and then you can see that there were some combiner model between 4 slizers. So yeah, in the first wave, in fact, there were 8 slizers, and we can put them aside. In fact, they were kind of the good guys and the bad guys, and this one were kind of the good guys, in fact. So that's 4-1. And they can make this combiner model, which is called the Robotops. And there were like 4 combiner model, and 1 which is not really official. So you have some part of instruction, so it's kind of so like the Toaketa for the Bionicle set. And here some nice posters that you do not really have in the box, I think, if I remember correctly. So we can still talk about, we can really now talk about the figure itself. So here we go, it's Ice Slizer. So as you can see, the color scheme, as I said earlier, is white with some blue part and also some light blue part. But I'm gonna more than explain how it works right now, how the frame works, because in fact all the sliders kind of share the same frame. So it's really easy. In fact, you just have to, as you can clearly see, you have this part. So this part here has the body part, the main frame part. I really hope you can put this off without oh yeah, just gonna do that and hope for the best. And here we go, how it works. That's nice. So yes, it's really in part this time. So here we go with the body part, as you can clearly see. So it's the same, of course. In that you're supposed to put this big gear part on, and then on it you're supposed to put the head. So of course there are tons of new parts in this set for the time. So for example, this head part right here with some little eyes and some teeth right there, some mouth. So it's really a cool part. And then you have the visor. On this one, it's just a normal Lego Technic figure visor, so nothing really new. But you're gonna see that on every other Slizers, it's an it's a different visor. So we're just gonna put this right here on this all. Then we're gonna put this other gears, this blue gears right here. You can see the 2 gears are linked together. So of course I'm not gonna do that for every Slizer. I think just to show you how it works. And then I'm just gonna put the other parts. Well, I hope I have done the correct thing. Okay, I see. Like that. So excuse me. Here we go. And now, of course, one of the gear here is that when you turn this gear, it makes move up or down the head. And not only the head, because as you have seen before, I destroyed him. You are also supposed to put the arms here. So here is the left arm, excuse me, which with the throwing disc arm. So I'm not really that sure that it will be able to. I will be able to throw it because you can see it's kind of by 10. So I don't really know if I'm gonna try this. But if I'm not able to throw the disc with this one, it's not really a problem because the part is not damaged with my sub slicer. So in fact, yes, you were supposed to put that and throw the disc, but here as you can see, it does not work. So I'm just gonna use this one to show you the disc and to explain you how it works. So you can see you have some green lights, yes, also yellow light, do not really know, some lights right there, in fact, and on it's kind of hard to explain, but on each disc you have some number of light, and in fact you have, for example, on this one, every sliders have a disc with 2 green light right there, and it represents the symbol of the symbol of the Slizers element. Here it's the ice element, of course, but if there were 3 green light, it will represent the Slizers throwing a disc, or if it, for example, there is like 7 light, it will represent that the object that the Slizer search to become more powerful. So in fact, you have like 6 discs, and on each one you have some green light on, and then different pictures on the middle. Sorry, excuse me if it was not really that clear. And of course, it's white on this one, but the color change from Slizer to Slizer, and yeah, gonna put this like that. So here we go. So you can notice the shoulder parts, which are useful, and then the left arm with this arm part. So as you can see, also it's the introduction of the ball joint arm parts. So it's really interesting to know that. And also this one, of course, you got some ski stick right there. Also, look carefully on how I'm gonna put the legs, because it's always different on every Slizers. Or I put this connector. For example, you're gonna see that on the sub Slizers, it's kind of like that. But we're gonna see that later. So here we go, also the same parts right here, so used as arm and legs. And then this time it doesn't go only any feet, it just got skis, excuse me. And here we go. So of course it's kind of articulated, so yes, you have the gears which make turn the head and the 2 arms, so up, and way to turn that tons of time, up or down. We're gonna put this in the middle. Of course, here you have 2 points of articulation. As you can see, also you can block the parts in this piece. So, for example, here it's blocked. The same goes for that ball joint system, and so you have 2 ball joint articulation right here, and the same goes for the legs. So you can put some different type of pose, even if it's kind of hard. Yeah, excuse me for the noise of my computer. And here we go. And I think that's quite all, guys. Well, I'm gonna try to store this one for you, and then we're gonna talk about the sub Slizer. So, if you want my opinion on this one, seriously, I kind of like him. So of course, yeah, the articulation are not really that good right now, but still, I do not really know. It was kind of my first Slizer, so I think that's the one I kind of prefer. But every Slizer are really different, so it's kind of hard to say the one I prefer or not, because they all got some interesting stuff, some interesting frame and stuff like that. So I do not really have any, yeah, there are not really any Slizers that I prefer, in fact. So here we go. You can see it's just about turning parts and stuff like that. Not really that hard. Oh, and I was supposed, in fact, to put the ski stick in this axle on. And well, here we go. You can see. Then I put that in there. And then just put some disc right here. Which, yes, it's kind of stands. Odds. And yes, of course, you at the time you were able to buy some disc, some little box in which there were 5 randomly put discs in there. So yeah, and also you got 2 discs. Yes, you got 2 discs per Slizer. So one which was in fact the elemental one, and another one which was sometimes even not the one from your own Slizers, in fact. For example, you would buy the ski one, yes, so ice Slizer. You will got this one disc, and then you will got the disc of one other disc with Scuba on it. And yes, here we go. It's closed, and then you can bring that to your friend's house. Well, at the time, in fact. I think we're gonna take him out later, because now we're gonna review the second one, which is Scuba. So I do not Scuba or sub in Europe. So I do not only have the box of this one. So I'm just gonna show you the instruction booklet with really interesting illustration right here. So this time you can see some evil squid, yeah, with some brain in it. So it's kind of like some look like some Metroid from the Metroid games, in fact. Well, and it's the same stuff. You can see it show you how to store in, then it show you oh yes, how to throw the disc. So here you can see the color of the box, which is blue and light blue, and also some instruction for the combiner model. And here we go for the slicer. So as you can see, it's use the same parts. So for example, you can recognize excuse me, the main body frame, also the shoulder and stuff like that. But you can see it's different. So what is different on this one? So first of all, of course, the colors is different. So this time, as I said earlier, you've got some light blue and some normal blue, and also some yellow, which is really look cool, really an underwater feeling. Then you got also the visor. So as I said earlier, it's different from the ski one, and there it's really the Slizer visor because it's the same mold parts. And you will see that on every Slizer, this little illustration right here change. So here's the one for sub. It's really a cool one, seriously, really robotic one. It's really interesting. So here I'm gonna put this like that. So of course you can open it or close it. Then the other difference is that this time, as you can notice, it's a little details, but it's still there, that the head is put down here. And also the gears is not the same as the ice one. It's not as big. It's a taller one. It's a smaller one, excuse me. And yes, also as you can see, the axle for the arms is put on this hole, whereas on ice it was put on this hole. So it's different also. Also notice that the shoulders are put in on this hole, and on ice it was like that. So this on sub it's like this. And also that this time the disc throwing arms is put on the left arm. Oh, and yeah, here as you can see, I will be able to show you how it works. So just put this on this flexible arm and throw it. It works perfectly. And of course, as you have recognized, this disc later we used in Bionicle first in the Mactawan, first with the Mactawan in 2001. And then it will become the famous Canonica disc in 2004, which will in fact become a collectible again. But I think that the Slizer discs are cooler than the Canonica one, in fact. Just look at this nice element pictures. So here we go, it works perfectly, you can clearly see. And then on this one, it does not, of course, have a ski stick, but it has an Apple launcher. So excuse me, the part is a bit bitten by my little brother at the time. Here we go. And also the other difference on this one, as you can notice, the little propeller on the back, which is really a nice detail because it's an underwater character. So of course it got some little propeller. And then also another difference is that the legs, excuse me, yeah, is the legs which are put in this way, whereas on ice they were different. And of course also you can notice that this time it got the real Slizer feet, if I can say so, which are these parts, which are also called the A part because it looks like an A. And yeah, there are also some famous parts right here, which was in fact redone in a better way, if I can say so, in the Takadok set in 2007, in Bionicle of course. And I think that's all, guys. So as you can see, I just have shown you two, and also you can notice that this part, the pelvis part, is kind of wide, yes, wider because of this little gray part right here, which was also not the case with the ice Slizer. So as you can see, in fact, with just two different Slizers, you have seen tons of difference. In fact, they're really different one from each other. So I'm gonna show you the two together for you, and you will see that they're really different. And the same goes, in fact, for all the Slizers. So this was really a big, not really an improvement because there were not really that much action figure before that, but it's really they really done a good job because they're really different, even I think more different than the Toamata, in fact. So here we go, putting the disc on this one. And if I look closely, I think that Sub is kind of maybe more original than Ice, if you want my opinion. And yeah, of course, you're supposed to turn the propeller. Of course, it's like the ski one. If you want to make him like he's swimming, like that, for example. And here we go, guys. The two one, oh yes, I'm not really that close from the camera. So yeah, of course, this arm is really long, so it's kind of strange, if I can say so. It's kind of weird because the arm is really long. So here we go. And the two are supposed to be good guys in one of the two storyline, of course. So yeah, I think that's quite all for this two one. So it was Ice, also known as Ski in the US, and this one was Sub, also known as Scuba. And I think I have said everything I have to say on this 2-1 and also on the Slizers in general. So hope you enjoy my review, guys. If you have still any questions I have not answered, feel free to ask them. And I think that I will see you. Yes, I will see you. Tomorrow or maybe the day after to show you. No, yes, not tomorrow because tomorrow I have to review on some Titan set from 2005, and yeah, the day after we're gonna continue, and I will show you two other Slizers, which will be Fire, also known as Torch, and also City, also known as Turbo. And it will be, I think, faster than this review because I will not repeat the same stuff about the Slizers that they are, for example, the same as Bionicle and stuff like that. So it will be a quicker review, I think. But still, hope you enjoy this one on Ski, which is really a classy one, and on Sub, which really got the underwater feeling, so two great Slizers. And of course, I can still recommend you to try to find this one because they're really Bionicle's ancestors. It can be interesting, even if, of course, the articulation are not that top notch. Of course, it's not really it's kind of limited in terms of articulation and stuff like that. But the parts are great, and also the design are really cool. So if you can find them on some garage sales on eBay or Brinklink or stuff like that, just go ahead. So, hope you enjoyed this review again, and I think that's all. So, see you later for another Bionicle video review or Slizer video review. Bye bye!